Hello again! It's June 17th, my name is Reagan, and I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about the economy today. Usually I focus on climate and ecology, but it's all kind of interconnected because climate change is a near-term and existential threat. It's already here. Yellowstone just got flooded a few days ago.
These are the steep hillsides giving way to the force of water.
Whoa.
And the massive boulders narrowly missing cars on the road.
Oh, it just moved.
Flood-swollen rivers even sweeping away buildings. This two-story bunkhouse carried nearly 5 miles downstream.
A year ago, it was on fire, okay? And France just hit its first 40-degree temperature Celsius ever in recorded history. We're in this balmy heat wave right now in the Midwest.
Across the country, a pre-summer heat wave, scorching folks from the Midwest to the Northeast. For some, the record-setting temperatures climbing too fast, too soon.
And so you have these investors in mainstream media, Yahoo Finance. I'm just going to play the clip. Just get your opinions about this.
Switching gears here, President Joe Biden, speaking in an AP interview yesterday, addressed the state of the economy, saying that the American people are really down. However, he struck a more optimistic tone about a possible recession, saying, first of all, it's not inevitable. Secondly, we're in a stronger position than any nation in the world to overcome this inflation. For more on the president's comments, let's bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman.
He will do everything he can to try to convince people that things are still pretty good. Earlier this week, he said he's never been more optimistic about the outlook for the United States. But you can't talk people into feeling better. And this is almost entirely about inflation. And within inflation, I think it's almost entirely about gas prices. We've never seen gas prices around the country that start with a 5 before. And I think for Biden and the Democrats to have any hope of holding on to Congress in November, for sure, we need to get gas prices into the $4 range. There's just not much that the administration can do on its own. What might make a difference, or at least make it look as if Democrats are on the ball, is if they could pass some sort of legislation. And there still is a chance they could pass, I guess, what you might call the remnants of Biden's Build Back Better plan, which might be some kind of green energy tax credits, but, perhaps very minimal social welfare spending. But honestly, at this point, people don't want to hear about green energy. They just don't want to hear it right now. People want to know, a lot of people are like, I get it. We need to address climate change, which is a very long-term problem.
The report stresses it is now or never to limit global warming.
Sounds like we're deciding never. The UN Secretary General paints a really grim picture, saying, quote, "We are on a fast track to climate disaster." The report says to keep warming around 1.5 degrees Celsius, that's the goal, the target, greenhouse gas emissions must peak by 2025, just around the corner, and then be cut in half by 2030.
What are you going to do for me right now? And, here's what we're going to see. We're going to see Biden going over to Saudi Arabia this summer. What he needs to deliver from that trip is a tangible outcome in terms of more Saudi Arabian oil output.
Isn't it so annoying hearing constantly about investors and GDP and the way they talk? And so you have corporate executives and saying, 60% of them saying we're going to have a recession within the next 12 to 18 months. I feel like we're already in it. I mean, how do gas prices go back down to $3 where they were a year ago? How is the climate crisis not already here? It's here.
Whilst Portugal saw its hottest May since 1931, the French Weather Service said it was the earliest hot spell ever to hit the country. Scientists warn that as global temperatures rise over time, heat waves are predicted to become more frequent and intense and longer lasting.
Okay, and it's exponential. And by the time we get through this recession and quantitative easing, raising interest rates, all this stuff, it'll be too late. By 2025, we're going to be having insane heat waves, mass death dying events. by the end of 2024 and into next year, okay? And this isn't paid scientists. This is science. This is verified by college universities, peer-reviewed papers, okay? I just don't understand these people out there that like really wake up and they must be so demented and so they hate themselves and question everything so much that they have no faith or belief in anything. Like they were wrong so bad that they wake up and they think, well, you just pay a bunch of scientists to say what they want to say, and then that's the truth. You know, like, you're just a worthless human being. If you have no more faith in science, or any institutions for that matter, like any at all, then you're just freeform. You're floating in midair. It's delusional.
Delusions. With delusions, it's delusion. Was it delusion? Delusions. Delusions.
Okay, I don't want to rant much longer. I just want to say it's silly and really a broken record by now that most people are miserable, working dead-end jobs, paycheck to paycheck. Look, another article I wanted to point out was Fortune. Wall Street vet and Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz said economy is going to collapse and we're heading into a really fast recession. He says the economy is going to collapse. I'm going to paraphrase here. He told MarketWatch. And Biden just said yesterday, by the way, side note, that a recession is not imminent. It's not entirely possible. I mean, as far as like countries go, we're doing, a great job in America. Europe is certainly feeling the pain a lot more. Everything he says is right, is the opposite. And Trump is no better. We don't need Trump back. Trump was the worst president in U.S. history, probably next to Biden. Okay, he pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords. What more do you need to say? He wants to destroy your fucking future. And you're saying we need him back. I gotta stop. Be peaceful. Be peaceful. Mike Novogratz goes on to say there are a lot of layoffs in multiple industries and the Fed is stuck. They just raised interest rates, right? And the Fed is stuck, adding that the central bank is in a position where it has to hike interest rates until inflation rolls over. When does inflation roll over? When do we start losing our food supply? There's just terrible mismanagement of money, executive rule, corporations. We live in a fucking dystopia. Okay, this is a literal definition of a dystopia. And so what's the point of this? I guess the point is just to say, buckle up. Because our leaders have sold us out. Our business executives don't give a shit about you. The government is captured by corporate interest. There is no democracy anymore. Capitalism goes against directly. Noam Chomsky said it best. Capitalism goes against the interests of democracy. They're literally against each other. Welcome to 2022. Thank you, boomers. All of us, the children around the world. Great job navigating and managing the economy, working it to fit your favor. We appreciate it. I hope you all have a good weekend. Buckle up. See you later.